Oh man, look at this item I didn't purchase on Amazon. Isn't it great? Imagine if I did purchase it on Amazon. It would be like a fucking spider or something. Ooh! That's because buying things on Amazon these days is scary, alright? So I just have a bit of a problem buying stuff on Amazon these days. It just feels like it's totally just a shot in the dark if you're actually gonna get what you want, or you're gonna get what you want on time. So I just kind of want to vent a little bit here. So why do I have Kid Icarus Uprising here? Well, this was the first game that I ever got from Amazon that wasn't what was advertised. I had to do like a flat out return. It wasn't what I wanted. Anything like that. Kid Icarus Uprising, it's kind of hard to get like fully in the box like this. A lot of Nintendo games eventually go out of print, especially if they aren't the tentpole franchises, or even if they are, like Mario or Zelda. Like if there's a game that comes out that sort of replaces the last one. Like I remember like when Majora's Mask 3D came out for the 3DS, Ocarina of Time 3D went out of print, and that was pretty expensive for a bit there. I remember Pikmin 3 was out of print for the Wii U for a bit, and that was a bit more expensive. Same happened with Kid Icarus Uprising. And I found a copy on Amazon, and I was like, oh boy, I've always wanted to play this game, but I want it complete in box and all of that, and I take it out of the box when it finally shows up, and it's the goddamn Peggy logo. They send me the European copy of Kid Icarus Uprising, which is, like, completely unusable for me. The 3DS is region locked. Like, I couldn't even use it if I wanted to. It wasn't necessarily a case of, oh, boo-hoo, they sent me a copy of the game with the logo I didn't want. This was. This is a far bigger issue these days. Well, it is and it isn't. Amazon doesn't give a damn anymore. They will send you the PAL versions of games, whether they're brand new right off the shelf or they've been around for a little bit, whatever. Like, I constantly get the PAL versions of Switch games, PS5 games, whatever. Now, this isn't nearly as much of a problem these days considering how all of these consoles are region free. I'm able to play every single one of these on my NTSC console. So what's the big deal, Scott? Come on, you know me. I like my consistency, and just getting the European copy in, I'm just like, come on, guys. With PS5, maybe, sure. I mean, like, the spine is fine, but on Switch, come on, man. I'm not putting this with the rest of my games. It doesn't fit. But my biggest problem here is the fact that they don't tell you this is the European copy. Amazon will let any seller sell anything on this site. A lot of these sellers, they don't give a damn. They have a copy of Mortal Kombat 1, they're gonna sell you a copy of Mortal Kombat 1. And sure, it will work on my Switch, but like, you have the North American copy on the store page. That's what I'm expecting to get. And I know, this is like a super superfluous issue, so I feel like the biggest dork, the biggest dweeb for saying like, oh, this bothers me. But it's not like I just want to buy these games to just put on the shelf. Like, no, I put both of these games in, I open them up, I'm just like, fuck it, sure, I'll play these ones. I don't care. I wanted to see how bad Arkham Knight was on the Switch. It is in fact bad. So like, yeah, I opened up the European copy to give that a go. I didn't want to go through the whole rigmarole with returning on Amazon, which it's really not that bad. Amazon has the typical like chat room bot setup where you tell them your issue, and sometimes it can be like weirdly frustrating. Like for some reason they just it won't understand like, hey, I'm trying to return this item, it's not what I wanted, and that's all you have to say. That's all you can say, but it's still gonna be like, what else do you got for me? But it's just annoying. It's just annoying to get these copies of the game because I'm kind of like, I'm anal about it. I'm like, well, this isn't gonna go in my actual collection. I'm gonna put this off at the end of my Switch game library alphabetically. All the European copies go together. I don't want to put all these like within my North American library because like it doesn't fit. The spines are all different. But whatever. It's not that big of a deal, but it's also really damn lame to see the preview image on the store page, show the North American copy, and then you get it in the mail, and it's not that. It's just kinda dumb. But you know what else is kinda dumb, and something that I could probably actually, like, bitch about? Alright, so I pre-ordered another code, Recollection. I was interested in playing it, but it's also something where I'm like, I kinda wanna buy it sooner than later, because, like, how likely is this gonna be, you know, floating around for much longer? You know, like, I doubt Nintendo published this game thinking damn well, like, oh man, this is gonna be our magnum opus. Everybody is gonna want to play this game right here. So, you know, I kind of wanted to get it, you know, but, you know, ahead of time, pre-order it on Amazon, so then, you know, I can play it around the time it releases, while also, you know, having it so I don't have to worry about getting it later down the line. And I guess there were stock issues at launch, because, you know, I pre-ordered the game, and then I didn't get it until a month and a half later. And you know what was really dumb about this? Like, a week or two after the game came out, when I still hadn't gotten the game, I could look on the Amazon page for the game, and it said like, oh yeah, Amazon Prime, get it within a day. So you're saying my copy is just kind of like sitting there out in limbo? You're like, well, damn, we have to wait because we can't supply his copy of the game, even though we have this giant wall of another Code Recollection copy sitting here. But no, Scott didn't buy that one. He bought a copy that doesn't exist yet. I don't know. So what? Like I bought a copy that they were waiting to come into their warehouse while they had like another shipment of copies or something that was just sitting there that they could ship to my house whenever. So like realistically, it would have made more sense if I canceled my pre-order and just bought it again. Amazon used to be like a surefire bet to get the game on launch day. I could pre-order a game and I knew for a fact by like 4 p.m. that day, it would show up on the doorstep and bada bing, bada boom, I'd be playing the game at launch. Now, that doesn't happen nearly as much. Like, it's probably like a 50-50 shot you're gonna get the game on launch day. What else can I complain about? Well, my copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 came a little scuffed. To be fair, I'm pretty sure that's more of a problem with the PlayStation cases than Amazon themselves. I'm kind of stretching here because I'm just building up to the main event here. So, you know, I do a lot of video work, so I like to buy a lot of excess SD cards. You can never have too many of them, you know. It's great to have them all just floating around. You know, I don't like to completely delete a lot of them, you know, clear space off. Of course, you know, it makes sense to with some, but, you know, if I just got done with like a massive project that, you know, I want to make sure I have the files backed up in more ways than one, a lot of times, you know, I'll just save the SD card. I won't trash it or anything. I'll just keep it in a safe place, and I'm like, okay, that was the SD card from that project. So, you know, I have multiple backups, I guess, of like the raw files filmed for it. We also do multiple videos with multiple camera angles, so that's 2 SD cards you need, and many of them go on for a long time. We just wrapped up a video that we were recording for 6 hours. We also shoot in 4K. Yeah, that stuff kind of adds up over time, so I like to have a lot of SD cards, and a lot of big ones at that, on standby at a moment's notice. And the 1 terabyte ones can be a bit pricey, you know, like $100, $200. So, you know, when I'm buying these, you know, I'm meaning business here. So for a while there, I would buy them on Amazon. You know, I'd pick them up on Amazon. You know, I kind of like to buy in bulk. You know, when I'm making a larger purchase, I'm like, you know what? I'm already spending a lot of money on this thing that I need. Might as well add like an SD card or two. You know, I'm gonna need that soon, especially if they're on like a good deal or something like that. And I'm really used to these SanDisk ones, these Extreme Pro models. You know, I'm used to these. These are the ones that I primarily use. But then something happened one day. I got this in the mail from Amazon. And you know, if you're not used to these SD card packages, you know, this looks pretty basic, I guess. This looks pretty standard, but this isn't the exact same as the casing I was used to. Most of these SD cards would come in like, you know, a plastic shell, and just the overall like packaging was different, you know. This doesn't look like wrong or bootleg, but it's just like it was different. It wasn't what I was used to. It may not look bootleg, it's a bootleg. It's a damn bootleg. Amazon has been consistently selling me bootleg 1 terabyte SanDisk SD cards. I've tried this twice. I have talked to their support team both times and have told them this is a bootleg and it doesn't matter. They're still selling them. So how can you tell these are a bootleg? Well, this packaging isn't right. You can kind of even see like Even the way like terabyte looks here, like it's just kind of like an odd spacing, I guess. And much like other bootlegs, you know, like there's random little like misspellings here. You know, they misspelled reader here. You know, lots of other extra little doodads. But the main giveaway that this is a bootleg is the yellow tab here. You know, it's supposed to be a gray tab. And, you know, comparing these side by side, you can definitely tell the label here is a lot clearer than this one, and, you know, use bolder fonts. But, you know, if you weren't comparing these directly and you just thought like, oh, SanDisk is just changing the style of SD card, you know, you wouldn't know. But I said, who cares? Whatever. It may be a bootleg. It may not be an official SanDisk SD card, but if it's a 1 terabyte SD card, I can still use it. And I actually recorded a video with one of these, and it seemed to work just fine for like the first like 30 minutes of video that I shot on it. And then after that, all the video files that you'd record on one of these things just doesn't work. It's just like a corrupted file that won't play. It just doesn't work. So I'm just like, okay, like I was willing to give bootlegs a chance, but like, apparently not. Apparently, you can't trust bootlegs. What the f***? And I know it's probably like, oh, Scott, why did you trust Amazon twice with these things? Like, I bought 2 of these before, and like, oh, it turned out to be a bootleg, so, you know, I returned them. But then, like, you know, a couple months to a year later, whatever, like, I'm like, you know what? They must have gotten rid of them at this point. They must have gotten rid of the shop that was selling the bootleg SD cards. Nope. So yes, now I'm officially done. I'm probably just gonna buy my SD cards on like bestbuy.com, because like Best Buy it's all just coming from Best Buy, and they're not buying from bootleggers, which is probably for the best. You know, I'd rather support, oh, baby boy Best Buy. Oh, let's support baby boy Best Buy, small business Best Buy, or maybe, you know, like actual local businesses. I might look around and see if there's anybody that sells SD cards like this. If there's not, then, you know, I'll just use Best Buy. But like, still, Amazon used to be like this up and coming, like, it felt like they had to prove something, you know, back in like 2013 to like 2019. Like, it felt like they were like damn, we gotta be on our A game here. And now that everybody uses them, like, who the hell cares? You know, they're like, you're still gonna use us, f you. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not gonna like boycott you or anything, but I'm not gonna like using you. Like, I don't trust them with games anymore. I don't trust them with equipment like this. So like, at this point, like, what can I trust them with? I bought this shirt from them.